What it do, YouTube/Patreon/BitShoot. Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, I want to talk about America is being destroyed to be rebuilt again. Hold on, let me rephrase that. America, metaphorically speaking, hypothetically speaking, America is being torn down so it could be rebuilt again. What does that mean? So, if you look back in the past, you look back in history, history repeats itself. Especially if you don't know your history. If you don't know your history, you don't know about your ancestors, you don't know about what your people been through, or you just don't know about the history of the world in general, regardless of your ethnicity, nationality, creed, color, you know what I'm saying, sex, whatever, right? Then you forced to repeat history because you lack the knowledge of history. You lack of knowledge, you don't know. So you're doing the same shit the whole time, you don't even know, but it's encoded in your DNA because your ancestors been through it. Our ancestors been through it. My ancestors been through it, however you want to say it. Look back in time. Come on, man. Look back in time. The Great Depression, World War II, you know what I'm saying, the World War, you know, Pearl Harbor, all these different things, you know what I'm saying, the Revolutionary War, the Confederate War, all that shit. Let's go back in time. America was being torn down. Slavery. Come on, let's speak on the real shit. See, people don't want to talk about the real history. All this shit is history. You see what I'm saying? That is real shit. The slavery, and people just only want to stop at the slavery part. This shit is deeper than that. Well, our people been kings and queens way before slavery. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, that was just a part in history that was just purposely put there to keep motherfuckers blindsided to stay focused on that part, but it's deeper than that. But it's still a part of American history. It is still a part of world history. So we gonna talk about it, right? You see what I'm saying? All that shit. America was racism, all that shit, racism, segregation, all that shit was America being torn down. So America can be rebuilt again. The Black Panther Party, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, come on, bro. Noble Drew Ali, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hennett, Professor Griff, Public Enemy, bro. We can keep going deeper and deeper. All this is a part of history. You see what I'm saying? Especially in that time period, right? And the same thing, right? History repeats itself, right? Same thing happening right now. America is being torn down so it can be rebuilt. Now we could go. That's modern. What I just compared, that's the modern era of what's going on. Now we about to take this shit to the Bible days, right? We're gonna take this to the biblical times. You see what I'm saying? And you can compare it to what's going on right now. So, you know, it's stated in the Bible that, you know, people will be destroyed. You know, my people will be destroyed for lack of knowledge. You know, the 400-year curse, or the really 1,000-year curse, which really started in the year, I want to say 1019. If I'm saying that right, the year 1019, if I'm saying that right, and then 1,000-year rule from the year 1019, 1,000 years from that would be 2019. So that's when the curse uplifted, supposedly. And like I said, when you got a curse or you put a spell on somebody, whether it's a love spell, a negative spell, whatever it is, any type of spell, and somebody is under it for so long, even if you snap your fingers and take the spell off, the motherfuckers is still hypnotized. You know how Lil Boosie say hypnotized by hatred? These people are still hypnotized by that trauma. They still hypnotized by that spell, even though the spell has been uplifted. So all the shit that's went on in the Bible and shit, how the earth was destroyed and all that shit, so it could be rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? Physically, same shit happening again. All the shit that's going on worldwide, all the shit that's going on in America. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we at right now in America. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you didn't know. But still, just all the shit that's going on in the world. America is being destroyed so it can be rebuilt again. Now, if you think about it like this, right? America's already it's crazy because it's like it's being rebuilt and it's being destroyed at the same time. If you got the eyes to see what I'm talking about, because this is how I'm seeing it. This is how I'm perceiving it. Because you got a lot of shit like a lot of these old structures and these old mindsets is being destroyed. These old ways of life, these old paradigms are being destroyed. People are starting to implement new ways of life. You see what I'm saying? People are starting to become more open-minded and things of that nature. So you see that with what's going on with all these different movements. Like for example, you know, with the LGBTQ, if I'm saying it right, I probably butchered it. You see how in 2008, I think when all that shit got legalized, and like I say, I'm not a homosexual. I don't have anything against homosexuals. Let me say that I am not a homosexual, but I don't have anything against homosexuals. If that's how you want to live your life, that's how you live your life. I am not God. I can't tell nobody how to live their life and when or where to live their life. You see what I'm saying? Just to state that. But I'm using that because all that's a part of history too. That movement that plays a part to what's going on too. See, when Obama legalized that, you know, that kind of destroyed the old paradigm of how people thought back in the days for so long. Because you know it is supposed to be men and women, but at the same time, if a motherfucker loves somebody and that's the same sex, you know, it is weird and all that shit. But if that's who they love, that's who they love. Who are we to come across that? We not God. You know, they gonna have to deal with that in the afterlife. You see what I'm saying? So when Obama implemented that movement that crushed like a certain type of paradigm shift of a way of thinking, and then the same thing with marijuana. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm bringing all this stuff up, all these different movements and stuff, because all this shit plays a part into what's going on right now. You see what I'm saying? Like America's being torn down and being rebuilt at the same time. That's why I'm bringing this up. You know what I mean? So like I said, I have nothing against homosexuals. Let me just state that. I was just using that as a historical reference to put into this video. And then, like I said, with marijuana, for so long, so many people, especially the older, you know, the elders, you know, no matter what ethnicity they are, but mostly, you know, the elders, you know, or even just, you know, just yeah, just people that's elder, somebody that's older than you, or depending on the person, if they under a certain stigma or a certain mindset, they already thinking, oh, weed is bad, that shit, the devil letters, all that bullshit. They already saying, you know, they are, you know, they already under a stigma, you know, from the prohibition laws, same thing with alcohol, all that shit. We're gonna talk about that too. You know, with the prohibition with marijuana, people being locked up for all these years. Now they coming back home because it's being legalized now, and a lot of people come back home and they get these equity rights and stuff where they can actually own cannabis businesses as minorities and stuff like that. And people who've been wrongfully imprisoned for this plant, because it's like you go to jail for this plant, and now all of a sudden 20, 30 years later, 40 years later, motherfuckers smoking this shit, vaping this shit, and they selling this shit, and it's legal, and I've been to jail for this shit. You see what I'm saying? So that's wrong. So the government, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they know that. And that's why they're trying to right their wrongs right now. And a lot of these other like states and cities and towns and different jurisdictions and shit, they trying to right their wrongs for that because they know it's wrong deep in their heart, regardless of all that other stuff. They know it's wrong. So that's how you see that all this shit is changing the course of time and it's changing history, but it's still a part of the past history. And a lot of people, it was against weed. There was a lot of people trying it and shit. Oh, you a hippie, we gonna throw them in jail. You're a Mexican, you're a black. You know what I'm saying? You're a nigger. All this shit, we gonna throw you in jail. You know what I'm saying? You a gypsy, all this crazy shit. You a demon, you know, when you smoke that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a stigma, but now, you know, years, 40, 50 years later, whatever, shit legal. You see what I'm saying? And if you think about it, a lot of these hemp centers, a lot of these CBD, Delta 8 places, they being built. Yeah, you gotta do your research to see where a lot of this stuff come from, of course. But just the fact that they building this stuff and people starting to move towards more of a horticultural, because like I said, I'm a horticulturist. I love botany. I love plants. You see what I'm saying? That's something I love to do. It's amazing. It's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? If you watch my videos, then you already know that. Like, if you really watch my videos, you already know that. But a lot of people are starting to move into this nature-based horticulturist botany type of mindset. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people are starting to go back to growing their own food. Yes, there's been a lot of people that's been growing their own food. Yes, I know that. But it's a lot of people that was asleep. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to get into that. So history is being changed. You see what I'm saying? Like, while shit is being destroyed, it's like paradigm shifts and shit is being crushed. And a lot of people are starting to wake up and starting to go down a different path. That's basically what I'm saying. And the same thing with the prohibition with the alcohol and shit. You know, back in the days, you know, the 20s and shit, it was illegal and all that stuff, which the government, they were smart back then. They had, I mean, with the weed part, they fucked up on that. But with the alcohol, whoever banned that shit, they were smart on that because that shit was killing motherfuckers anyway. But then they want to legalize the shit, and they know it kills you. But I mean, if it's used in moderation, of course, and very respectable moderation, then yeah, alcohol is fairly okay. But you know, free country, motherfucker, just tweak it. You know what I'm saying? So they take it to the next level. But like I said, I'm not God. You're not God. Who are you to tell this person if they want to drink like that, knowing the risk behind it? Let them drink like that. Same thing with tobacco. You know what I'm saying? All this shit just it just plays just a course in history, man. All this shit it just plays a course in history. And the same thing with the George Floyd, with the Black Lives Matter. You know, and I know that movement within itself is all, you know, got some whole lot other shit going on with it. I know that, but I'm just speaking on that as in a whole to kind of paint my picture. So, all we already knew, police brutality been going on. All this racist shit has been going on. It's just been covered up. We already know that, especially here in America. But unfortunately, the George Floyd shit, it had to happen. Unfortunately, it had to happen for a lot of people around the world to wake up and see what the fuck really going on. Because for the longest, motherfuckers looking, black man, you're the bad guy and all this shit. You do this, you do that. No, motherfucker, but you ain't see what's going on behind the scenes. So it's like when that actually happened, unfortunately, it was bad. But motherfuckers had to see that George Floyd shit happen for motherfuckers to wake up and say like, damn, this shit's really going on. This shit is fucked up. So it shattered a paradigm shift. It shattered a certain way of thinking. It shattered a certain perception. Now, everybody around the world, Israel, motherfucking Australia, because I was in Australia when it happened. That's the crazy part. Australia, America, motherfucking Taiwan, China, all over the world. I can't even name all the goddamn countries. Russia, everywhere. They were protesting and standing up and rioting. The UK, all these places, for what had happened. Because a lot of people started to wake up and saying that shit wrong. Because back in the day, a lot of people used to be timid and all scared and shit. But now motherfuckers starting to see that that shit is wrong. And it's shattering paradigm shifts. So that's why I'm saying America is being rebuilt. It's being destroyed and it's being rebuilt at the same time. And back on the hemp and, you know, the horticulture, which I love, it's not even just about hemp. It's just about, like, plants in general. But I'm saying the hemp movement is so big now, legally and shit. It's so big now. And you got a lot of major players that's in the game that's doing the right thing. But then, of course, you got a lot of demonic entities, which that's in everything. You're going to have a pro and a con that's putting out a lot of this bullshit in the hemp industry. But then you got a lot of big dogs, such as Jungle Boys, you know, Cookies, you know what I'm saying, Gas House, you know, Viola, you know what I'm saying, just all these different brands, man, Dr. Green Thumb, you know what I'm saying, can't forget about Be Real, you know, just so many different brands, man, like, just so many, like, just, them like the big dogs, just other big dogs I don't know about, but I'm like the celebrity big dogs that's in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play a major part in a lot of this good shit that's coming out. You know what I mean? And I personally believe they have they have hearts, they have souls, and they kind of like on the good side when it comes to, because all this shit I just named, it all plays a part in this spiritual war. I believe all those brands, all those people I just named, all those different marijuana brands, they are like the good guys right now, and they're kind of battling the big tobacco companies and the big alcohol companies, because a lot of them are getting into the cannabis industry to try to put out that bullshit just to get in for the money. But these guys, such as the Cookies, the Jungle Boys, the Violas, the Gas Houses, you know, the Dr. Green Thumbs and these people like that. They are the culture. They the backbone. The cookies. You know what I'm saying? They the backbone behind this shit. They the ones who putting out that real good gas and making sure motherfuckers is, you know what I'm saying, A1 and they right. But then you got a lot of these other little fugazi, these foo companies that just coming out the blue. They just putting out some bullshit. Oh yeah, this Delta 8. You know, they little vape pens and all this little shit they putting out. It's killing motherfuckers and fucking motherfuckers up. That's why I say it's just deep, man. Like when it comes to this awareness shit, like you got to hit a certain level of awareness, really, before you hit that, before you really see the importance of like plant-based technology. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I run. That's where I see the world going, and that's where I would want to take the world. Like George Washington Carver, one of the best horticulturists, one of the best plant scientists that ever known to man. He already was hip to plant-based technology, creating all these different products out of peanuts, all these different products out of sweet potatoes, and all the other plants and stuff that he used. He created lip balms, motherfucking hand washes, soaps, all this shit. And of course, you can't find this shit because they gotta take it off the market, hide it, and all that shit because it's too deep. But just his information and his knowledge, that's called plant-based technology, and that's the same thing that's going on in the marijuana industry right now, the hemp industry. You see what I'm saying? We can take this shit to a plant-based society. You know what I'm saying? We can go do everything off solar panels. We can get our rain water from the sky. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't disturbing no ecosystems. We ain't interrupting like no water, no oasis or no frequencies of like lakes and oceans and shit like that. We like, man, bro, we could really take this shit back to how Earth is supposed to be. But I feel like Earth is going down that path, but the growth is being stunted by all this evil shit that's going on. Like that's how I see it. You know, I can get deeper into this shit. I might just do like a live stream or a video on horticulture, you know, to get deeper into it. Cause bro, you can see I'm passionate about this shit. I could really get deep into this shit because I've been studying this shit for a long time. And plus, I'm just a consumer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's another word too. I forgot the word. Damn, it started with a C. Like, I can't think of it. It's like when you like so good at something, a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur as well. You see what I'm saying? So I know what's good. I know what's full. You know what I'm saying? Like I know like what could take something to the next level. I know what's going. You see what I'm saying? So I know this is like an all-around video, but it all kind of stems back to my point of America is being destroyed to be rebuilt. But I'm telling you, I'm probably gonna do like a video on this hemp or like horticulture stuff because like I'm telling you, I can really get deep in this shit, man. Like for real, because that's really the wave right now that we need to be going down, just as humans, plant-based technology.